This show is presented by the 323 Network. You can watch all your favorite 323 friends and shows on the 323 Network YouTube channel, follow us on all social media platforms at 323Reid, and support us as we continue to grow at patreon.com/323Reid. That's 323REID. We are now live. This is the 323 with Reid Murphy. I'm your host, Reid Murphy, joining as always Scott Ellia, and joining today because this is another round of preseason shows that we are doing, and we are going to have, as we do every season, new friends jump in and contribute in awesome ways, and this is one I'm very excited to see, very excited to have on the show, our new friend Marquez Goode, a.k.a. Trust Goode, host of the, he's just from everywhere. I'm going to actually throw it to you. What are we promoting? And by the way, hi TG.
Hey guys. Hey, look, it's good to be here. Hey guys, it's your boy TG. I'm from Goode Gotcha Entertainment. Like you said, I'm a little bit everywhere. And then look, I had to bring a special thing because you can't be a fan of old Go Pack Go without having the cheese head with you at all times. Because look, I don't care where Aaron Rodgers goes to, but we'll figure that out later, and we'll talk about it later. But look, I'm a lot of places. Goode Gotcha Entertainment, another sports view. That's Women Love Sports too. And also, I'm in all podcasts. Wherever you can watch, I'm kind of pretty much there. So either like me or love me, I'm going to be there.
Hey, and now you're going to be hanging out with the 323.
Yes.
Going right into football season. So, yeah, everybody's going to be seeing you all over the place. I like the cheese head too, by the way. But I do wish, because who did I saw it somewhere the other day of the old clip of somebody wearing the cheese bra at one of these games, and the commentator just lost his shit, couldn't stop laughing over the oh, that cheese in Wisconsin. Well, look, we are doing another preseason show, and it's a good chance to talk about some other things that might not make it in once football season starts and it starts to really dominate what we're doing, and we'll have plenty of other fun stuff too. We got the 50th anniversary of hip hop. We're going to be celebrating that finally with the top 5 rappers, top 5 rap songs of all time. We've been teasing it for literally 3 years now. We're getting to it. It's going to kick off the season, but this is the chance for us to get into things that might go towards our nerdy little hearts. And especially as, we're in the heart of sports media, and it's fun to talk about sports media sometimes just as much as sports, especially when you're in the dead of summer. And we've had big things like today. It was, over the last week, it was announced that Shannon Sharpe is heading over to ESPN, joining First Take and Scott's boy, Stephen A. Smith, 2 days a week. God. He's working 2 days a week, which is that's glory. He works 2 days a week for the NFL season, and then, he'll have Stephen A. will have Mad Dog come in on Wednesday, probably Tebow on Friday. Who the hell knows on Thursday? Then over on the Fox side, Skip Bayless replacing Shannon Sharpe now with not only Richard Sherman, who is going to be joining, I think, once a week, not only Keyshawn Johnson, who's jumping over from ESPN now to FS1 and to go on Undisputed, but also the playmaker, Michael Irvin, the Hall of Famer, is going to argue, not even so much argue, I guess, with Skip Bayless. Skip Bayless is one of those diehard Cowboys fans. I don't know what's going to happen between the two of them. It's going to be weird. It's going to be slobbery. It's going to be all over the place between those two. But that's the big money going into sports media right now, are these debate shows, hot takes, clickbait. That's what's selling. And I wanted to talk to you two because all three of us are involved in sports media now. Scott Ellie is the host of his own show now, College Shame Day.
I did it. Mama, I made it.
He made it. He's hosting 323 College Shame Day. So you are a part of sports media. TG, you are a part of sports media. We are a part of sports media. Whatever, it's not ESPN, but we're building our way. We're trying to revolutionize it. And seeing the direction of sports media, TG, we're looking at sports departments getting cleared across the country in newspapers. I mean, the New York Times got rid of their entire sports department. They feed more into The Athletic now. ESPN just went through hundreds of layoffs on big names, but a lot of production people, a lot of written journalists. Written journalism just in general has been in trouble for years. And now, you're getting sports journalism is all but extinct because people don't particularly give a shit about these great reports about what's going on in depth. And I will say, as somebody who is, still slowly but surely earning their degree at VCU in the broadcast communications major, I could not have been as great. I think of myself as a very good writer. I've done a lot of good news pieces. I've been published in the Washington Post. I've been proud of that. I couldn't have been happier to not have gone into the written field or committed to the written field and decide, hey, I'm going to use this velvety voice Scott always claims I have and go into audio and go into broadcast. Seeing how quickly everything is deteriorating on that side and the just massive shift that sports media is taking as a whole towards debate, it's honestly a little scary. It's a little uncomfortable. And I try to think of how we adapt to it, or how do we change it? How can, I still believe a lot of these reports, a lot of the reporting, the Don Van Nattas of the world, the Pablo Torres, are doing such great work in investigative journalism, in deep dives into players' profiles. I still love that. So trying to figure out how we continue to adapt and change it is big. But TG, to you, as somebody who has been trying to grow in it as well, how has the change of sports media looked to you, and what are your plans towards it?
Man, media in general. I mean, we're seeing that across the boards. I mean, looking at not only the normal times that our grandparents would say with just television, now you got streaming coming into the factor. The new generation is taking that twist, and now you're becoming with podcasts. It's growing. I mean, like I talked to one of my co-hosts on Good Gotcha Entertainment, the attention span of an adult is shorter and shorter because we got so much more things coming on. So, Setting and watching a First Take, yeah, I can do it. But then going and watching like the sports junkies or listening to them in the morning, you can get that anywhere and get the going. You don't have to put eyes on it. So hearing a voice kind of changes things. And if your voice is not, like you said, soothing or pleasant to the ears, we're like, I don't got time to sit and watch TV. What is that? So you got to start adapting to it or get left behind. It's one of the things of the world now that, I mean, as Scott, his name is, but Scott's tissue or toilet paper, the price of everything's going up. But then also, guess what? If you don't go with it and they change a certain ingredient or food or whatever, guess what? You get left behind or you just don't buy it. So it's one of those things. It's like change with the time or get left behind. And that's been kind of my whole thing. And as my generation saw it, we're in the changing culture of everything just flipping around. And we just got to jump in the boat, jump out the boat, get into another one, and hope for the best. So you got to be quick on your feet and get your brain rolling that anything gets thrown at you.
How do you feel about the debate culture in sports media?
I like the Stephen A's and the guys like that, but now I think it's just for tweets and giggles. Some of the guys, I mean, we played sports. A handful of us here that we probably can say we played something, but then you got these guys just jumping in and play. But Stephen A, I'm not taking a shot at him, but he can't say but so much. And then you got these certain guys that just like, okay, you're gonna talk about Shannon Sharp or whatever. I'm like, oh, okay, cool. I can't wait to see your show because I want to see how he just drills it every day that he comes on. Matter of fact, 2 days a week. But I mean, outside of that, I love it because it's back and forth and you get different opinions. And then you get those guys that go on Twitter that talking about Skip Bayless, but it's like that actually shuts itself down by certain cultures. Kind of got to watch your mouth with what you say when you go on air and you got your face out there. And now you're going to pick up Richard Sherman. So I don't know how you're going to get past with that, but certain things in the culture, and not only that in sports, news talk, it's so kind of watered down because everybody got the same topic. But we got to start making something new or regenerate something to be different than the next guy. So, I mean, it's pretty cool. I like watching it, but I'm just like, let me get my own thing started because I got a different opinion.
And it is wild, and I'm glad that you brought that up about news talk too, because Scott, we've talked so much about Skip Bayless, and we've launched hard into Skip Bayless in the past, but what he and Stephen A. Smith did with First Take, it was a bottom tier show on ESPN during its inception. Like it was nobody cared about 10 a.m. and them launching this into debate culture and what First Take has become. What TG's saying, I can't hate on them for it, because it's not only changed the landscape of sports media, but you look to CNN, you go to CNN or MSNBC, Fox News, whatever your cup is, whatever you want. What is it? It's debate shows. You got panel shows of politicians now, of journalists, even in pop culture shows, it's debate, it's panels, that's what it's all become. It's swung. Maybe it wasn't because of Stephen A. I haven't dove that deep in, but I think you can look at the linear points and figure it out, and ties all back into about that same timeline. So, Scott, as longtime viewers of these shows, of these kind of sports media, of ESPN, Fox Sports, what are your thoughts looking at it all, and especially as somebody that's jumping into it now?
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely the way the world's going now. I mean, you look back even 100 years ago and you see the same transition from, radio to television. It was kind of the same thing. The radio died because TV came along. I think the reason why a lot of these debate shows have really taken off as quickly as they have, and why that's more the forefront in everyone's mind, because it's how people normally talk. It's barbershop talk. It's with your group of friends. It's like, you're constantly debating. I mean, me and you and Zoo will go back and forth about stuff all day, every day. It's what people can relate with at the end of the day. And, to your guys' point, society right now is so on the go constantly all the time. You don't have an hour out of your day, just sit there and watch Sports Center, see the highlights. No, you're going to get your sound bites. You're going to go look up what you want to go do. And I really honestly think that we're kind of in the infancy now of where really news reporting and media is going in the future is going to be in this kind of a platform as far as podcasts go. You're going to find people who you like to hear from. You're going to find people who, share kind of similar takes as you, and kind of just get rid of all the rest. For me, I don't want to go on and listen for college football and hear them talk about SEC teams in Alabama and Georgia. No, I want to go listen to ACC stuff. I want to go listen to Florida State stuff. So I'm going to go look out for those kind of those media personalities.
So where do you think, because we talk about podcasts, and it's true, I think this is as oversaturated as the industry is becoming with podcasts. Everybody has a podcast. We have podcasts. And where do you think we fall in it? Because do you see people leaning more towards the people that haven't played outside of your Stephen A's? Or are we seeing a full shift into now athletes have the voice? Athletes don't want to go on to the Skip Baylesses of the world's podcasts and talk to them. Why does Draymond Green want to talk to him? He can start his own podcast. People will listen to it. He'll talk his own probably filtered truth. And you'll have his show, Pat McAfee's show, he's a fucking punter from the Colts now with what did he sign, an $87 million deal with ESPN?
Yep.
It's insanity. So where do you think the future lies in personalities? Do we need to go out, TG, and recruit an athlete or a former athlete to join this show as our Shannon Sharp, as our Pat McAfee?
Look, I'm not going to say no. I mean, it's a great idea to have somebody like that notability or realm or whatever you want to call it to be on the show, to bring the true knowledge of the infield or being in the locker room. But you got to watch who you bring, because you can have another Skip Bayless that kills your show in one comment every single week. I mean, I don't know how that guy still has a show. I'm sorry. It's just one of the things. But if you have I don't even want to say Aaron Rodgers because he's a drama queen, but I mean, if you have a Tom Brady, that's the GOAT arguably and has a lot of rings, or from where I'm from, Charles Haley from the 4-3-4 area, that's a 5-time Super Bowl champion. That's a defensive lineman. He's went through the tough times of the league, not this this happy-go-lucky Halloween give out that we call a league. But I mean, it's notable having the players that actually been through it and actually had the experience, and then they can bring their friends. So it gives you more of an ability to have more people to interview, if you want to say, instead of just like you having to go fetch and run and hide to figure out who you want to bring on next week.
It's true. And you talk about people that could get yanked at any point. We got Scott Make-A-Wish Ellia up there who is just ready for something. Well, look, the way I will close this out is now asking you what you think the future looks like in whole for sports media. And one of the big curious things for it to me is streaming, and especially how we digest our sports, our live sports. Cable is truly only living because of live sports. It's the only attachment it has, but you're starting to see a shift in that future where look at MLS landing Lionel Messi, and you can only get MLS games. You can get those World Cup games on Apple Plus. It's exclusive to Apple Plus, and it's shot their subscriptions through the roof. People have been subscribing to it. I considered subscribing to the MLS package on Apple Plus just to watch some Messi games. And what do you think really stops? Obviously, the networks and cable industry can pay this loads of money to keep sports rights going, but we're about to see NBA rights go out at Turner and ESPN, I believe. They're going to have to re-up within the next year. NBA rights are coming up, which I think could be a big tell. NFL CBA was just signed, and their TV rights were done a couple years ago, so that won't be up for a while. But what is going to stop these leagues from just starting to join up with the streaming services, or, in what I believe could happen with the NFL, start their own streaming service and bring all that money through to themselves? Like Scott, I'll ask you, if the Super Bowl, because John Skipper, the former ESPN president, brought this up. John Skipper said that he really envisions one day the Super Bowl becoming a pay-per-view event. If the Super Bowl were a pay-per-view event, you would buy it, right?
Yes, I would, depending on how much it was. That goes back to value at that point. What do I value me watching the Super Bowl?
How much would you pay for it?
Like more than like $40.
No more than $40, really. TG,
I view it the same way as like an average ticket price for like a nosebleed.
Yeah. TG, what would you pay for a Packers Super Bowl?
A Packers Super Bowl is priceless. I mean, everything in my house is Packer, but I mean, outside of that, it was a normal Super Bowl. I may not pay a dime. I've been watching this long. Why are you going to change it up now? I mean, look at the culture. I'm going to say this. Look at the culture of WWE or UFC. Look at how their culture has went. They went from the same scenario where it was pay-per-view. When you paid for payback that's coming up, you would pay about $64 with your guys and get pizza and a couple of beers. But now you're like Peacock app. Like, I mean, just saying. I mean, it's easy as that. Even some of your providers, like the Comcast or the Xfinity. Wow, let me date myself. Those guys are now subscribing themselves to join, for they won't lose services because it's just they're dinosaur. Only people watch cable. Well, I would say my grandparents, but I don't want to disgrace them either. But streaming is what matters. But I wouldn't pay nothing for the Super Bowl. I'll watch the highlights on Twitter, whatever you want to call that app now that they got out. It's like I'll pay for that. But no. I'll see highlights later on.
See, I'm curious because I know myself. I will say right now that I wouldn't pay for it. That I'm not going to pay for it. Even a Commanders Super Bowl, yeah, I pay for it. I don't care what the price is.
A normal one?
Yeah, no. A normal one, no, I wouldn't. But I know as it comes up, and I know how the NFL sells themselves, and they hype it up. I'm damn sure I'm going to pay for it.
My thing though with this is like all these major sport leagues have their own networks. There's the NFL networks, there's the MLB network, there's why the hell don't they just pull the plug on making all these crazy ass TV deals with all these CBSs and NBCs and ESPNs and just have all their games exclusively just on the NFL network?
Money.
See, you'll be like the Pac-12 next thing you know, and you have all your teams trying to leave.
Listen, the ACC's right behind them.
And look, man, the XFL's coming. The XFL is going to be that SEC. They're going to start picking up teams. Look, because I asked too, because NFL Sunday ticket is $349 for the season on YouTube TV, plus an additional $40 if you want Red Zone added to it.
So what's that, $390? Round up to like $400.
If the NFL were exclusive to its own streaming service, its own NFL streaming service, that's the only way that you could watch the games. Are you paying that amount to keep your football addiction?
About
$20 a week to watch football?
I'm sorry. I'm not paying. We got to find out something on one of these www.whatever. .com.
NFLstreams.io. That's where I go.
Remember to hit me with a link. I'm not paying for that. I'm sorry. Somebody on X or some live stream better be live streaming the game, and I'll view it that way. And if it glitch, it cut off. I'm not paying that kind of money. Nah, no. They made their money. I'm sitting here at home trying to make that money to make it.
TG said, yo ho, yo ho. All right, look, transitioning out of sports media talk, I want to get to both of you because we both have had some wonderful off seasons for your teams. TG, you are a Packers fan that we have been looking for a couple of years now. We tried to get this one Packers fan on last year. We weren't able to quite figure out where she was and get her consistently on. We needed somebody to do battle with Emily Sissel later on in the season. She's our Bears fan, and it's a big year for her. It's a big Justin Fields kind of prove it kind of year, and we need somebody to antagonize. Scott is coming off a high. He's coming off the highest of highs. You get the greatest of all time on your team, win a Super Bowl, and then you just put your feet back and watch Baker Mayfield and Kyle Trask battle it out to ruin the rest of Mike Evans' career. So,
listen, if I was the Bucs, I'm trading pieces left and right. Just hit that reset button now.
I would. I don't understand. So let's go into yours first. How are you feeling about this season? How are you feeling about what should happen?
Not optimistic at all.
Baker Mayfield was just named the starting quarterback for the team. Kyle Trask will be number 2. Is that the right decision?
Yeah, with a very short leash.
Yeah. Does Kyle Trask, because I've heard good things about him in training camp so far, and not, I've heard Baker Mayfield kind of things about Baker Mayfield going into training camp. So you still have a team that has Mike Evans, that has Chris Godwin there. Your offensive line, I don't think, is the worst. You have that right tackle there that's really great. Your defense is still loaded enough. Do you think that they can make a playoff run in that NFC South?
See, that's the thing. That's where I need to start quelling my expectations, because that NFC South is just so soft. But I think when I did my preseason predictions, I had the Saints winning out, but they still have a sub 500 record at the end of the season, and they're just gonna kind of squeak in there. But that's when you kind of want to take a sit back, like, okay, what's more important, a wild card playoff berth to get ousted in that first round, or a very substantial pick with all this QB talent that's coming out this season?
That's true.
But yeah. I have them at 4 wins to be exact.
That's optimistic. That's fun.
But no, I mean, you got the pieces. I mean, you got Ryan Jensen still there. He's still, I think that line is definitely one of the more bright spots on the team as a whole. The defense is still relatively stout, especially that secondary. I think that QB position is just such a big question mark right now. And if Baker is actually going to be able to lead the team and try to wipe his hands clean of the whole Cleveland situation. But even Kyle Trask, I mean, his best season that he had at Florida was that last senior season. He threw for like 4,000 yards. It really, to me, watching him on tape didn't really impress me too much. But I mean, you never know at this point.
Again, I would feel bad, but I don't feel bad. You just had you got the glory gift of every NFL fan. It's what I wanted this past year, hoping that we would get Aaron Rodgers here in Washington. Now it's okay because we've got white Patrick Mahomes wearing the number 14 for Washington. I'm hyped. I'm on the hype train. I'm gonna lose my shit during the season preview. I watched that preseason game last night. I treated that like a regular season match.
I got a question for you, Reid. I've actually keep meaning to ask you this.
I haven't answered.
Do you think if this Daniel Snyder deal had gone through prior to Rodgers pulling the trigger with the Jets, do you think they could have been able to coax him to Washington?
I think so. I think he would have been a lot more interested.
Okay.
I think. I mean, he was interested in the Jets. Like, we have the same. What do we have? What's different about us than them? Like, we've got Terry McLaurin, Jahan Dotson, and Curtis Samuel at receiver. We got Brian Robinson. We got, the same level of running back prior to Dalvin Cook. We got the great defense-ish on our side. We just had Dan Snyder at the time. Nobody wants to affiliate with him.
I've been scratching itching over here to not say something, but
do it.
I mean, I think Aaron Rodgers, because I'm a Packer and the drama queen's been with us for the last half a decade. I mean, he's been literally in a soap opera of his own. And everybody's like, well, you're a Packers fan. Should you get rid of him? Yeah! Push the reset button. I'm tired of them. Whoever wants to sit out there and not want to play a game just because I didn't get the player I wanted. And you went in the draft and got a QB. Suck it up. You're a grown man. Play football. Don't worry about it. But I think he would stay with the Jets. I mean, Washington would probably they're a little similar in defense strategy and everything. You got a decent team. You just maybe Ron Rivera needs to be kicked out the door immediately. But I mean, outside of that, I mean, he would have been with Patrick Mahomes, offensive coordinator. That would have been pretty damn good with himself. But I think he wants to follow Brett Favre's career. And I think that's what he's trying to I want to be Favre. I want to be right behind them. They both got one little ring. They both are considered the greats, and he might go to the Vikings next thing you know. He's coming back to play Green Bay. He's coming out to get his team. I think it's going to happen.
Already called that happening. It's going to happen.
I mean, currently he said he's going to play like Tom Brady and never retire. After he told Green Bay, I'm thinking about retiring at the end of the season. Now you're like, I can play whenever.
Yeah.
What?
He wants to play for a few years and then, let Zach Wilson take back the reins when I guess he's like 35. And I don't know if either of you have watched Hard Knocks yet this season, Hard Knocks training camp with the New York Jets, but I hate the show because it does this every year. There's a player on there that I won't like. Aaron Rodgers is this one. I did not like him going into the show. I've always loved him as a quarterback. He was my favorite quarterback for years, and I just soured on him personally. And now watching Hard Knocks, I love him. I wish he was my I wish he was my team's quarterback. He's amazing. He's loving, and he's warm, and he's funny, and he's a great leader. It's like all this stuff. Like Hard Knocks is doing the job of making me glorify this guy again. And so I wonder, TG, how you feel about, Rodgers in New York compared to where your team is. Because like you said, if I were a Packers fan, I would feel the same way. It's time for a fresh start. You've gone all these years. It's complaints, it's drama, no Super Bowl. You can't even make it to the Super Bowl at this point. And it's a fresh start needed for everybody. It was the same thing Andy Reid in Philly. Goes to Kansas City. Look at what happens for both teams. So we know how you don't really, I don't think you miss Aaron Rodgers, but will you start to miss Aaron Rodgers if Jordan Love really falls apart fast?
Look, I mean, Rodgers was good the way we had him. The time that we had him, we kept him there. And then I will say Green Bay's ownership kind of torched that before it was over. I mean, whoever the hell owns, the state owns the team, I believe. What the hell are y'all doing? Kick that GM out the door. He sit there and got a QB when you had Rodgers still there before he turned into a drama queen. I think that kind of flipped the switch for Rodgers. And he's just like, okay, now I'm the Queen of England. But, I mean, I'm just saying, in the meantime, I don't miss him one bit because, have you seen Jordan Love? We expected him to throw 90 interceptions in the preseason, but he's actually out there dropping off delicious dimes. And I like this because he has the offensive line, the little curtain out there. He got a lawn chair. I brought it out to him. I folded it out, put it on the field. He sat down and he threw a little dart. I mean, it's just beautiful right now. But then he comes out with the press conference the other night saying, "Hey, I'm ready for the regular season." I said, "I am too. I am too." It's like I am too. But still, I don't miss Rodgers. I wish him the best. I would hope that he goes into the playoffs. But you got all the big dogs over there in the AFC. No, you're not going to get nowhere. I'm sorry. The Jets' defense is good, but we saw them crumble after they beat Green Bay in the season last year. And then after that, where were they to be? Even though they had Mike White as their QB or whatever the heck the name is. Yeah. They changed 9 quarterbacks in the last 3 seasons. But now you got Rodgers. I'm one of the Packer fans. I wish him the best. Hell, I wish he would go to the Super Bowl with the Jets. At least the Jets would have some kind of planes going in and out of some kind of stadium. But outside of that, I don't miss him one bit. Go on. Go. Far away. Get on the Jets plane and fly. Fly, boy, fly.
I love delicious dimes. That's something we're gonna have to use that going into the season. We're gonna have TG's delicious dimes. Who are the best delicious dimes on the Sunday hangover? Oh, that's gonna be wonderful. No, I agree with you, and we'll get into it, fully in depth when we do the season preview. But if what you said, I think people are starting to overreact. Mike Greenberg is out here saying that the Jets are the favorite in the AFC. I don't believe that for a second. I think they're a good team. I think that they'll make the playoffs. I don't think they're the favorite in their own division. I still think Miami is better than them if Tua stays healthy. I think Buffalo is better than them. I think Cincinnati and Kansas City are the best in that conference. And look at that. That's 4 teams already ahead of them. And I haven't even looked over at the where is it? The AFC South and the GOAT, Trevor Lawrence. So I don't know. I don't know where the Jets will go with this. For you, your Packers, what do you think the end game is this season? I mean, you have a relatively tough division. The Bears, who knows what they're going to do now with the talent they acquired. The Vikings are coming off of a fantastic looking season, but missing a lot of pieces. And the Lions, the Lions are America's team now. They're America's little sweetheart. So who knows what's going to happen with them? Can the Packers compete in this division?
Look, I'm going to hit you with back in my day conversation here.
Yes,
why we're
let's
here.
go.
It's because I always do this on every show. And the main thing is here, folks. You said the Lions. They knocked us off of Aaron Rodgers and didn't want to even play. He threw an interception, the last throw of the game. So you terribly know that he did not want to be in Green Bay. But what is Rodgers not to throw a bomb and win the game and it's over to beat Detroit? But I want to get more into detail here because I think with the Bears, and I know you said we have another co-host that's on here as a Bears fan. I'm coming for attack. We're going to still own the Bears without Rodgers. It's new ownership, and it's called Sweet Baby Love. It's not like a barbecue sauce. And he's going to come into Chicago, the first game of the season, and dominate. I'm just waiting for it. 3 touchdowns. I'm just going to sit back and just laugh. And then I'm going to come on the show. And I hope the Bears fan is here because I'm waiting. And then you talk about Kirk Cousins. What? Their only chant is literally going like this. I mean, it's something you learned in first grade. I mean, come on. Your stadium finally comes to do some snow out there without the roof collapsing in for you. And then you don't have Cook. You got a defense that's built by Green Bay because you hire all of our retirees out of the nursing home. But out of my look, I think I'm going to give credit where it's due. The Vikings going to make a little run. I like the Vikings because they still got a little thing with Kirk Cousins. He's not bad as long as you don't give him the damn ball every game. Like you give him the ball and don't let him run, and he ain't got Dalvin Cook. Lions, I don't know where the hell they're going to be. Their owner is about old as Medusa, so I don't know what their status is. And God forbid for the Bears, they gonna take a piece of cheese, it's gonna be poisoned, and it's over. And Green Bay, number 1, we win the championship of our division, and I think we move to the first round. But I don't see we go no farther than that, guys. So don't take me as we want a Super Bowl. Hell no, that's for the Dallas Cowboys to say. I'm just saying, get me to the playoffs, Jordan Love, and then make Aaron Rodgers kind of go, you're not bad after all, kid.
Look, you keep bringing them up, and I get goosebumps, and I get so excited. I get almost tears in my eyes thinking about 2 p.m. to 5 p.m. Kirk Cousins. God, he's that's
prime
the glory.
Time Kirk.
That's primetime Kirk.
Brunch.
Brunch Kirk. Oh my God, I love
Kirk.
Brunch Cousins. All right, look, guys, I want to get us all out of here, but I'm going to close out by closing the loop on something that we went in on our NFL draft preview show. And this is former Kentucky quarterback Will Levis. And we talked in depth, TG, about not so much Will Levis's playing style. Obviously, everything was, it was up in the air. He could have been the number 1 overall pick. Next thing you know, he's like 5th round or whatever to Tennessee. And what really captured us was this story about different phobias that he had. But the main thing that got our interest was that he apparently would use mayonnaise in his coffee. He would use that as his creamer. He'd put in mayonnaise and would drink it with this coffee. It was a very weird, bizarre thing. And I don't know how he made this work for him, but he just signed a new endorsement deal, and they announced it with a video that we're going to present here.
I missed this. I haven't seen this yet.
I want to thank everyone for coming. Today is a very special day. It really is the culmination of years and years of hard work to become the best football player that I could possibly be. And for it to come to this moment is a dream come true. It's not every day that someone offers to compensate you in mayonnaise. I'm proud to officially announce that I've signed a lifetime supply of Hellmann's contract. I'd like to thank my mom, who introduced me to Hellmann's mayonnaise and started my love for the beautiful condiment that it is, as well as my high school lunch lady, Miss Lisa, who knew that extra mayonnaise meant extra mayonnaise. I'll now take any questions.
Will, Andreas Ryder, Sports Talk. You had so much success as a college football player, iconic moments. Now that you've reached the highest level of the sport, what does this epic signing mean to you?
I mean, it just means the world to me, honestly.
If you're making a coffee, are you going to go Mayo macchiato or Mayo mocha?
I haven't tried either, but I would probably think that Mayo mocha would be pretty good.
Will, does this mean your agent will be getting a percentage of Hellmann's product?
Well, we haven't talked about the specific details of it yet, but I do know that he's a big fan of their new garlic aioli, so there is that.
First and foremost, I just want to say congratulations, Will. This moment is just huge. And this deal is unprecedented.
Is that a muffin?
What do you think it is that Hellmann saw in you to make such an offer?
I really don't know. Sorry, guys, I actually have to head out to practice now. Thank you so much for your time and for joining me on this great day. Take care.
Well, that's a big congratulations to Titans quarterback Will Levis out there. Oh, my gosh. Sounds about white. It's
Hey, I'm a Dukes guy, first and
You're
foremost.
a Dukes guy?
Yeah, I'm disrespected. I'm a Dukes guy too.
I'm a Dukes
I
guy,
looked
man.
over and my Dukes was crying on the counter. I just bought it yesterday.
That's what you know what? Maybe that's the change. Because I like Dukes too. I'm not a Hellmann's person. I've tried Hellmann's before. I was like, oh, this is gross. But Dukes is something else. I don't know what that is, but Dukes is something of its own kind. I don't even think it's technically mayonnaise, is it? Dukes white sauce? I don't know what it is. It's some type of.
It's one of the core food groups with my people.
It's a TG. What's the best condiment?
I have to go with mayo because you can put mayonnaise. You can put it anywhere. I mean, not anywhere, but as a child, I think ketchup. Because I mean, look at all these kids. They put ketchup on fries. They put ketchup here. They put ketchup there. But I mean, yeah, ketchup or mayo. I can't go any wrong with that. Every cookout, you have it there. It's like I gotta buy this. You don't have that, you better go to the store. So you need to have it.
Would you consider Mambo sauce a condiment, Reid?
Yes, I do, because I think that's a top 5 one for me.
That's top 3. If not, it could potentially be top 1.
It depends on where from, though.
Is hot sauce a condiment, or is hot sauce hot sauce?
Huh.
This is what you have to look forward to. Listening to these brain-numbing questions, folks.
Look, season 3 is coming before you know it, and we will be asking those hard-hitting questions. Is hot sauce a condiment? Damn it, we're going to find out before this season starts. We will know. We will know. Ladies and gentlemen, this has been the 323's preseason show. TG, thank you for being here once again. Tell the people where they can find you.
Goode Gotcha Entertainment, Facebook, Instagram, all of where you can find your podcast. I'm there, so check me out.
And we will see you on the Hip Hop 50th Anniversary show. It's going to be exciting to have you. Scott Ellia, of course, you can find him on College Shame Day, the great college football podcast. Jim Harbaugh got suspended for 3 games, right? Is that something that we're going to hear about on Shame Day?
Yeah, he's not going to be coaching the first 3 games due to impermissible contact with recruits during the COVID-19 dead period, and also not cooperating with the investigation. So they're kind of a little bit back and forth. But honestly, a little sneak peek to the next episode. Going to dive a little deeper into future predictions on how I feel the college football world's going to end up going, potential bowl games. First 3 games for Michigan is East Carolina, UNLV, and Bowling Green, all at home. They'll be fine.
Well, look at that. It's going to be something to look forward to. You can follow the show at 323 Reid. All social media. The 323 Network on YouTube is where you're at right now. And like, subscribe, share the show wherever you go, wherever you get your podcasts. Ladies and gentlemen, this has been the 323. We will talk to you later. Stay safe.